Welcome to Bubba Rob's Carnivore Journey.
Hello everybody, it's Bubba Rob. How's it going? Time for me to have my chat. How's everybody today? Good, I hope. First, I want to say thank you for all the support I've gotten on here. I greatly appreciate it. Sometimes it can get quite overwhelming, and I want to make sure I say thank you, because I don't want to seem ungrateful or anything like that. But there's lots of good people out there, lots of good people in the community, and they're all banding together and helping one another out, which is good. But I got a couple of notes here because I was trying to think of what to say. And there's one thing that's been kind of popping in and out of my head today. Is I have my goal weight for my birthday coming up this Thursday, and I want to hit 315. And on the way in on Sunday, I think it was I hit 318. So 3 pounds off. I'm thinking, oh geez, how am I going to do that in 5 days? And I was kind of thinking to myself, well, if I don't quite make it, that's okay. But that was really bothering me. It's bothering my core beliefs. It's made me think how much my attitude has actually changed over the years. And actually, deep down inside me, it really bothers me. It just kind of is what it is. So I was kind of thinking, what do I do? What do I do? What do I do? Then I had a chat with my son, which is always inspirational. And he says to me, Papa, you still have 5 days. And I thought, what, you're absolutely correct. If I put the work in, put the effort in like I've been putting in so far, not every day has been as good as the next or the one before, but I've been fairly consistent with it all, with my diet. And he said the right thing to me, and he just kind of gave me that look that I had to get down to it and not give up, and make sure I hit that. So I started thinking about, okay, what am I going to do? What am I going to do? What am I going to do? And we're talking. So the only thing I figured I could do without, going down the road of, say, getting like a diuretic or Lasix, or going down to the health food store and getting a natural diuretic, and maybe try and drop some water that way or whatnot, but which to me I would consider to be cheating. But so I thought about it, and we were talking. What I decided to do is, the only thing I could really do is keep my food intake where it is, or fairly close. Maybe not so instinctive with the eating this week, but do make sure my portion sizes aren't too big, and double up on my training. That's about it. So that's what we decided to do, and that's what I've been doing. I'm doing a double split now. So in the morning, I get up, I make breakfast for me and my son, and then he's off to work, hauling boxes of meat and sides of pig and all that stuff, and way I went to the gym, and I did my cardio for 20 minutes and pedaled my ass off. And then I do a half hour of yoga. And I think the one thing that people on here may not quite understand, but your actually calorie usage doing yoga, that stretching, and I've been using the yin method, so I try and hold my poses at least 3 to 5 minutes a piece. That actually takes quite a bit of energy out of your body. There's sometimes I come out of there and the sweat is just wringing off me. So that's what I decided to do. So yesterday was the day one at it. And we went and trained last night. God, I had a hard time dragging my backside in there. But we did chest and triceps. And even at the end of the workout, when we're doing like close grip tricep press on this machine, my last set I did a strip set to failure, and man, was I tired. I really put the work in on that one. So tonight we don't train. We'll be training again tomorrow night. But today I got up, I was physically exhausted. I actually woke up about 2:30 and I had a hard time getting back to sleep because the water was pouring out me. I had to get up for the old guy pee a couple times last night. So it was definitely coming out. And geez, I didn't feel like going to do the bike today. But if you want something bad enough, you're going to do whatever it takes. So I thought, well, I got to get motivated and I got to go into the abyss and make it work. No excuses. I made my son that promise that I was going to do whatever I could do to make it work for Thursday. So in I went on the bike, pedaled my ass off for another 20 minutes. I didn't have much feeling after being on that seat. They don't have the most comfortable seat for big guys. Then I went in and I did my yoga. I was listening to Candlebox, Metallica, Typo Negative, and there's a couple other really hardcore stuff I was listening to. I won't mention them because there's a lot of profanity in that music. But it kept me awake. I did my breathing. I did my poses. And I got out. And I was moving a little bit quicker leaving there today than I did walking in. So it's good. And we'll see what happens. I have a feeling now that, I got my motivation there, and, I got to get that warrior mindset back that I used to have years ago. I mean, there was no excuses not go to the gym. I remember my friend Nathan going in there with 103, 104 degree temperature to go work out one time, and when we were at Gold's. And we asked him, what the hell are you doing in here? He says, it's training day. I gotta train. That's kind of how we were. That's the way we were in the day. You can't give up. You gotta have that focus. You gotta have that mindset. That's only the only thing that kind of worries me. The one thing with some people on here, do they have that commitment? Have they put the work in on their mind to make it happen? I sure hope so. I know sometimes I seem a little bit gruff about it because I'm trying to get people motivated, but it's not easy. And when you have a slip, you gotta find a way to dust yourself off and get back up and get going. You know, whether your slip lasts a day or a month or a year. You know, and it doesn't necessarily have to mean the carnivore diet. It can be whatever your change is. If you've made a commitment to yourself, you have to honor that commitment. Unless something seriously wrong's like to do with your health, you know, there's no excuse. So try and find something out there or someone you would like to emulate. Get that commitment. Do the work on yourself. Study philosophy, read the Bible, whatever gets you going. Counseling, get in a peer support group. Whatever it is, to make sure you keep going, you got to do it. We're only here once. Tomorrow may never come. Today might be your last day. And I'll tell you one thing. I've had enough of the bullshit with myself. And I certainly don't want to leave this earth feeling like a loser. And I don't believe anybody else out there does either. Okay? Anyways, I should say, if you can please hit the like, share, subscribe, leave a comment. I don't believe I missed one comment back yet. I love you all. And remember, the most important thing, to being a good person, good carnivore, good stoic, good biker, good bluesman, good rainbow warrior, whatever your is, you got to be kind. Be respectful, be truthful, and be honest with yourself. There's no excuses. Okay? Love ya. Bye-bye. Have a great day.